We would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands on which this project is recorded, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
Settle down and gather round for another tale. In the world of Nua, where time has carved and cultivated a magical utopia of wonder, a small group of adventurers unlock the deep mysteries of the land, its people, and themselves. Welcome to the Down Under Dungeon podcast.
Soup de jour, recipe number 13, the spice of life. Step 1. Bring your cauldron to a gentle boil over a low to medium flame, adding salted sodium, exploding peppers, and the discarded bones of your former meals. As a side note, feet and knuckle joints are often discarded. They have a lot of little bones in them, and you can find them for free in the rubbish. Step 2. Allow several hours for the bones to reduce, keeping all digits submerged at all times for both flavor and discretion. Step 3. When your stock finally stops smelling like old socks, finally chop 1 aubergine onion and 2 celery carrots. Step 4. Add the chopped vegetation after 15 minutes and an ungodly amount of extra hot sauce, enough to overshadow any semblance of taste. While my latest concoction did not win any popularity contests, it did provide warmth and sustenance for the long winter trek from Cape Quinn to Feldsparr. And my Hawangan companions seemed so grateful for the food, they did not even think to ask why it was a hobgoblin such as myself needed such silent passage away from the Magitech metropolis. Long gone are the days of scrounging and begging for food. Now, I am a successful businessman, with his own soup stall, a neon sign, and a private stretch of gutter to call my home. And yet, somehow, I still find myself wishing for a life or lives that have long since passed me by. I miss my father, holed up in the Nightingale estate. I miss my classmates at both the Starlit Conservatory and Cape Quinn Polytechnic. I miss the head chef at MacLeod's more throwing utensils at my head. And I even miss my cousin Golbért, despite our recent falling out. Most of all, though, I miss the Lady Gwelkin. What I would give to sit at her kitchen counter again, to taste the eternal soup she had stewed for generations. It is true, much was won for the people of Cape Quinn on that fateful day. But it is also the day that Denis Golbért lost someone very, very important to him.
Down Under Dungeon podcast, the yap.
The yappening.
The yappening.
The yappening.
Writing
Season 2. Yeah.
seriously typing down the yappening.
Write it down.
Quickly copy
Good
it.
ideas sometimes. Vaguely, but sometimes.
Okie dokie. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
Hello.
We are officially in our second arc down here at the Down Under Dungeon Pod.
Yeah, boy.
Very, very exciting. We have a lot to get to today. So without further ado, let's just get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh.
Because all of the party has leveled up to level 5, before we do anything, we need to roll hit dice.
Let's do it.
Here it is.
So let's start with Feng. What's your current hit point maximum?
30.
All right, and what die are you rolling?
D8.
All right, off you go.
Let's do it. That's a 4. So my HP maximum at level 5 is 37.
Wonderful.
And Promies is 30.
Nice.
All right, Lysandra, what is your current HP maximum?
Beautiful. So Lysandra's current HP maximum is 29, but because she took a level in Warlock, I'm now going to be rolling a D8.
Wonderful.
Hey.
Amazing.
Hey.
That is awesome. That is a 7.
There it is.
Sweet. So what is it now with your con mod?
So my hit points now are 37 maximum.
Okay, wonderful. Louis.
Hello. My current maximum hit points is 26, and I will be rolling a D8. Drumroll, please. Oh, that's an 8!
Oh,
There it is.
So that will be a maximum hit points of 34 with my con modifier.
very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
You're gonna need it.
Don't threaten the
Ominous.
I know.
abuse.
And Denny, Oscar, what is Denny's current hit points?
Denny's current hit points, a big ol' 34.
That's
Hey,
pretty good.
That's not bad.
Denny is a beefy boy.
He's been eating his cruciferous vegetables.
All right, and rolling a D8 because Rogue and Artificers are both D8. Here we go. 8.
No, my God.
8. So that'll bring it up to, I believe, 52.
Holy shit.
Now, I don't know about mathematics.
Sorry. No, I added like a whole extra. No, 52. Sorry, no, 42 is I think what I
think
meant.
that's it, yeah.
And then
34
did you
Then add the con. So 44.
44.
44 is
Still
very, very nice.
ridiculous.
That's wild.
That's insane.
I feel like Louis started off as quite beefy in terms of hit points. Now y'all are just outpacing her.
Yeah, rolling hit dice is so crazy. I've never done that before because it doesn't matter what hit die you have. It depends how well you roll.
Alrighty. Well, I think we should just get straight into it, gang. What do you reckon?
That sounds good. Let's do
Awesome,
it.
let's do it.
The sun rises cold and bright on the early spring morning, its rays providing energy to the vast Feldsparry Bay. Flying fish skim the surface of the rippling waves, diving into the massive ribbons of a vast kelp forest, undulating under the crystalline surface, their rippling mass sheltering many subterranean secrets from the world above. Upon the bay, streaming from the tree line of the massive mangrove forest extending from the Great Delta, several dozen barges, boats, and pontoons begin the daily commute out to the nexus of trade in the realm of Nua, the Spire City of Feldsparr. Their bright and colourful cargo and shouting bargemen scurry like insects to the massive spire, harried in the crosswinds of the sea by gleaming airships carrying the less mundane and far more profitable goods safely to port. The Spire City braces for the onslaught of merchants, traders, and adventurers. While vendors feel their profits, the city is also at the mercy of those less clandestine in their intentions. Feldsparr is rife with petty crime and thievery, but it is a small price to pay for the wealth of the realm pouring in as constant as the tides of the twin moons. Wellspringers, please roll initiative.
Oh, why? Who's attacking us?
Of course, Denny is not a Wellspringer.
No.
so good.
Yes.
Alrighty, what do we get? Feng,
11.
Lysandra,
14.
Louis.
9.
Okay. Lysandra, you appear from the Western Marshes whole, questions answered, and new questions to solve. How is Lysandra feeling as she joins one of the many barges in punting across the bay towards the Feldsparr City?
Lysandra feels renewed. She's had so many questions answered. She's no longer unsure about the path that she's on. She just has more questions now, but she knows that she needs the help of the people that she had to part ways with in Laladrud to answer them. She knows she can't do it by herself, and she's excited to go back to see them and to be with them and to feel that sense of belonging and family again.
Alrighty, and so Lysandra, as you step off onto the massive boardwalk and jetties that surround Feldsparr, make me an investigation or perception check, whichever you'd like, and tell me what things of interest are you looking for.
Beautiful. I will make a perception check. That's a 21.
Hey.
Finally.
The highest you've ever rolled.
Well, almost. Lysandra is taking everything back in again. It's been a few months since she's been here. I think she's looking for anything that feels familiar to her without it being the Priory. I think she wants to avoid that for now. And I think she's looking for signs of her friends.
So, with that 21, you step off into the Spire City of Feldsparr. Feldsparr is essentially set up on 3 rings ascending. So right at the bottom, you have all of the jetties and markets in the commercium. Above that, you have the upper echelon, which is the administrative district, artisan district, and where a lot of the administrative public buildings are. And the top is the Spire district, which is the entirety of the High Keep, actually represents the top of the Spire of Feldsparr. You make your way through the city, you see many familiar sights from when you were both a vagabond in this city and as one of the clergy members in the Priory of Skye. You see the Cerberus, this enormous galley ship that has crashed into the side of the spire, and the rear end has been repurposed into a huge hotel and bar. You see the market square with the familiar wishing fountain inside, and I guess if you're trying to avoid the Priory, I guess you would probably stay mostly on the lower levels. So, if you're looking for signs of your friends, what kind of signs are you looking for?
A baby phoenix.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what do you mean signs of your friends?
I guess she'd probably think back to Feng destroying all of those, oh my gosh, what were they in the races?
The wyverns.
The little wyverns? Yeah.
Were they wyverns? Yeah.
So, Feng destroying the wyverns in those races with his phoenix, and the yells and the cheers, and listen to see if there's any sign of that. Listen to see if there's any sort of stern yelling coming from Louis, and look around to see if there's any colours, any magic from either of them around.
I don't think you have the ability to perceive that specifically, but if you're looking for some shady shenanigans that you think Feng might get up to, there's definitely abundance of that in the city.
Fair.
As you move around the Great Pier of Feldsparr, you notice that because space is limited in the Great Spire, the continued excavations into the basalt have been halted in fears of compromising the whole structure. So the denizens of the city have essentially begun to grow outwards into the bay, establishing these great piers where the booming commerce of the realm can be accommodated. The docks are teeming with people from across the realm, as well as some of the weirdest and most cunning and ambitious traders who work with throngs of merchants to try and make a quick profit. There are 2 that stick out to you. The first is a tall, lanky man. He has thin black hair and salt and pepper goatee. He wears a huge moleskin robe with many pockets and leans upon a forked driftwood staff, sporting what appears to be a sleeping seaweed drake in the crutch. The other thing you notice is a huge throng of people, almost like the boardwalk is creaking under the weight as they're clambering around this store. And all you see through the crowds, even with that 21, is a small neon arcane sign that reads Soup de jour.
Ooh, okay.
This sounds like a safety hazard.
First of all, Lysandra's going to go to the guy with the cool moleskin cloak.
You walk up to the tall man and you see he regards you quizzically, not in a nefarious sense, but as a more of a cautious sense. And he kind of dips his brow to you and says, "Good morning, man. The name is Igor. Igor the Doctorhood. How may I serve you today?"
It's lovely to meet you, Igor. Your drake is quite beautiful.
Yeah, you do see this tiny little seaweed drake. It's sleeping softly in the crutch of the druid's staff, and you see as you approach, it's bright yellow eyes snap open, and it kind of regards you somewhat hesitantly, and then extends its neck.
Lysandra's going to take that as a invitation and put her hand up to pat it.
As soon as you pat the nape of this seaweed drake, you see these long, flowy ends to its body snap and curl around your hand. I need a DC 20 Constitution.
What? Oh my gosh!
Puppy, no.
That's a 10.
You see, Lysandra, you go out to pat this thing, and all of a sudden, as quick as it happens, you are completely incapacitated, and you fall to the ground, and Igor the Doctorhood starts howling laughing. You see some crowds of people start to notice, and more of the local residents of Feldsparr get the joke and start laughing as well. And after a while, Igor bends down and casts Lesser Restoration on you and says, I'm sorry to do that to you. He does that all the time. It's his favourite running joke.
I'm sure he does. Lysandra gets back up, kind of dusts herself off, and is flushing, like, in the face, embarrassed. So, what exactly is your job here? Do you have anything else that you do other than embarrass people?
You see Igor's face harden slightly before softening again and says, "Well, lady, if you had any idea of half the stuff that I got up to into this city, I believe you would not be taking that tone. Look, don't mind my drag. He's just a little cheeky. And look, I cast Restoration on yourself. Like, you know, chill."
Yeah, just chill.
I am chill, thank you very much.
Well, I'll have you know that I am the preeminent animal trader in Feldsparr. Let's go with that, animal trader.
Animal trader?
Yeah, you need an obscure magical creature for some, like, ritualistic spell component. Igor's your man.
Well, we found Feng's baby aging.
Lysandra looks, like, disgusted at this. Speaking of magical creatures, have you seen any small, fiery birds around?
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Fiery energy.
It's a good
doesn't have to be. 4.
4. You see at that Igor starts to cough and sputter going, Did you say a phoenix?
No, I didn't say a phoenix. I said a bird with a fiery energy.
Right. Okay, well, let's just say I'm the expert on the animals here, and that pretty much sounds like a phoenix to me.
Clearly.
But do you have any idea how... Are you looking for one? Do you know how expensive they are, right? Immortal beings, you know, return to fire and ash.
Sure, they're very expensive, I imagine, and yes, I might be looking for one. Have you seen one?
No, I haven't. And if you see a phoenix around here, you let Igor know, because Igor wants you very badly.
Cancelled. Don't like that.
Okay. Sure, Igor. Maybe.
What was your name again, just so I can catch up with you later?
Lie.
Louis' voice in your head too.
Yeah.
Like it's just here.
You're taking quite a long time to answer me.
Lies.
Lies. Your name is Lies.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, Lies. Yeah, I'll see you around, I guess. And for the first time in his life, Igor, who's I had written to be the strangest person. It's kind of like silence to the side and makes a wide berth around the bed. Slinks off. Like, I know he thought maybe he was the bad guy for like knocking her out, but now he's like, yeah.
Lysandra is not that charismatic or that intelligent. She just went with a shortened version of the start of her name. And that is it.
So
As you move away from Igor, you see Soup du Jour is there still. You see that several upturned crates have been arranged higgledy-piggledy and quite precariously, actually, on the floorboards of the dock. The central of these sports a dingy, smoking flame, which sports a massive cooking pot that sends smoke and vapours from the broth within into the cramped canopy carved into the basalt spire above. So it's kind of like a little hollow out in the bottom of the spire. Either side of the central crate, you see that there are smaller boxes and trays and plates which sport a smorgasbord of different ingredients. From the throng of people queued outside, it is impossible to make out the chef working in a blur. And so, you wait patiently behind someone to be served. Roll a d4 to see who you're standing behind.
Ooh. That's a 1.
You move up into the queue after a while and you are standing here for hours. The day moves on and eventually you see a gruff dwarf in front of you is the next to be served. Denny, you see this dwarf appears to be from Verdant Peak, which you're aware of. His eyebrows cover most of his forehead, and he leans warily on a walking stick. And you see he walks up to the counter and says, "Oh, what you got going here, sir?" What is it, like soup or?
Oui. Just hot water. Hot water, a little bit of seasoning.
You wash your hands?
Yes.
Denny making a deception check or persuasion, whichever, if it's true or not.
It's not true. Sure, deception.
It's just simply not
It's
true.
simply yes. It's a 6.
You see the you see the dwarf furrows his massive eyebrows at you and says, "All right, well, what do you recommend for me then?"
You know, we have many different kinds of soups, you know, like gumption gumbo, perhaps the soup de jour, of course, is the namesake of my restaurant. What spots your fancy?
Sounds like he needs a chicken soup to clear up all that phlegm.
And Denny, how do you serve this hill dwarf? So what toppings does Denny add to this hill dwarf soup?
I think for this hill dwarf soup, he seems like a bit of a rough customer, doesn't he? I think that maybe it is the same soup that he's serving everyone, but instead of like little bits of meat or vegetables, it's just got like gravel at the bottom of it. And you can drink it in sort of a little crunchy bit or something for him.
Make me a cooking check.
Certainly. Is this +3?
With your, cooking pot you're using.
Here we go.
Oh,
How do you feel about a 1?
a natural one.
Nat 1.
You see the dwarf takes and swallows the whole bowl in one go.
Oh, it's more of a... Okay.
And you see, Lysandra, you hear the of enamel on rock as this dwarf
Good evening, yes.
so as this dwarf crunches down on this gravel, you see after a while he starts to like cough and spit out a few molars. And he looks up at you, Denny, smiles, big grin. It just looks like a gingivitis nightmare in there. And you see he laughs and says, "Oh, I better go see a healer. You've got some stones in your soup." And he runs up and down the boardwalk.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Lysandra, you're next.
Hello, that was rather a lot. Is he okay?
I would not worry too much. The hill dwarves have a lot in the way of a constitution. I will not give you stones in your soup.
I would hope not.
No, unless you would like some.
No,
No?
thank you, I really don't.
Hold the stones.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, we want one order without stones.
He calls to no one.
Mage hand.
To your own mage hand.
Yeah. But I can communicate telepathically, but I do want to share.
Denny, as you're preparing the soup for Lysandra, can you roll an insight check on her and try and figure out what you think she might like?
I absolutely can do that. I get up. That's an 8.
Oh my god.
Hey, we have a new bad roller at the den.
What does Denny get with an 8, Lysandra?
Ooh. You get someone who has just kind of like pushed her way through the throngs of people and seems like she doesn't realize how hungry she is, but also seems like she's got a lot on her mind still and is being somewhat distracted by everything around.
You seem like someone of great focus with not much going on right now.
No?
Apologies, madame. I do not mean to imply. I'm simply trying to ascertain what sort of soup is good for you.
Something hearty, I imagine?
Something hearty. All right.
I think he starts looking through like, what has heart in it?
Make a check.
Yeah, what hearts do I have? What would I roll for that, even?
It's just a cooking check still.
Oh, cooking check still. It's not happening today. That's a 7.
You see you are served up a massive bowl. Denny has served you a double portion. And you see it is hot, thick rye noodles and essentially offal, which is hearts, livers, lungs, and Denny is just like pushing it towards you expectantly.
Double serving on the house.
Lysandra kind of furrows her brow and sticks up her nose a little bit. That's not what I meant.
It's so good. It is very tasty. If you don't even chew it, if you don't chew it, if you just sort of swallow immediately, delicious. And I think Danny's gonna watch. You know that?
Lysandra is getting very uncomfortable. So, this is safe to eat?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Blood still on the board.
Yeah.
Of course.
This can't be as bad as those flies we were forced to eat.
Down it.
She's going to take a spoonful of it.
You take a spoonful. It is food and it is hot.
She manages to brute force her way through at least half the bowl.
That's the best way to eat it. You want to really work for the flavor.
Let's get the guy into the party that served Lysandra hearts.
Yes.
For the rest of the day, I feel like Lysandra's avoiding the upper echelon and the great monastery. Where are you bunkering down for the night?
Well, there'd be little taverns and things all along this bottom area, right?
The two most prominent ones are the Cerberus, which we mentioned before, the great galley ship, and there's also a little bit more discreet, not necessarily advertised as a hotel per such, but you can stay at the Bandolier brothel as well and rent rooms there.
Okay,
It's
cool.
softest beds it's
So I think before Lysandra leaves Denny, she turns to him. As strange as that soup was, I actually do have a question for you. Where would you recommend? You're obviously more familiar in this area. Where would you recommend that I stay?
Look, I am obviously not a man of particular means or wealth, so I honestly think that the gata is good. If you can maybe find yourself a bush or bench.
Hey, forget I asked. Thank you, and she slides Denny a gold.
Oh, thank you very much.
Lysandra, you go to the Cerberus.
Yes. Straight away.
Feng, you arrive later that day in the afternoon. Let us know how Feng is feeling, as I'm guessing he's riding Cecilia into the bay.
Oh, for sure. I also realised that getting to a big city, I probably can't have Promi and the Phoenix Flame, especially now on show and display. So I probably have to do my best to try and put that lantern under my cloak, and definitely riding Cecilia into Feldsparr. He's feeling, I don't know, it's a bit tough. Feng has taken this Phoenix Flame because he has just kind of gotten over the Druid Circle and realised that they weren't necessarily operating by the way that they said that they used to operate, or that he thought that the way that they were doing so. It felt very much reactive to the things that were happening and not thinking about everything in a much more nuanced way.
Wonderful. With this cloud in mind, Feng, give me a perception or investigation check as you enter the city.
Let's do it. That is a 16 perception.
Is there anything specific Feng is looking for?
No, I think Feng is just excited to be in a new city. He has real no ties elsewhere at the moment, so he's walking in open-eyed and ready to be influenced in more poor decisions. Bring it on.
Ready to make my next mistake.
Yeah.
Then you enter the commercium. You see everything that Lysandra sees in terms of the wishing fountain, the Cerberus is there. You see the lines up for soup de jour. With that 16, however, I feel like having spent his time in the Pirate's Grotto and kind of has a nose for the more destitute and kind of sidelined people of a city.
For sure.
The one other thing you notice, where the crowds are usually thick on the boardwalk, streams of people seem to take a wide berth around a particularly potent pile of refuse, piled high on the docks. Above a barrel of fish bones, picked clean, you read a rusted board that says, "Sea Sallies, Sea Shanties, Prophetic Musings and Ramblings."
I mean, he's already gotten one prophecy to end the world, so why not go get another one? But I am considering as well just walking past the wishing fountain, sorry, did you say?
Yeah.
Because it kind of reminds me of a well, and we're the well wishers, so I may as well just chuck a gold in on the way past and say, I don't know where my friends are, but I hope I find them soon, and then I'll toss a gold coin in.
You walk past and you see, yes, it's a huge circular fountain carved from the stone of the spire itself. The edifice depicts numerous magical creatures native to the Feldsparr Bay. Schools of kelp pixies wreath the lip of the fountain, and mermaids and kuatoa leap upon the central spire, bedecked by an intricate and curling coral drake, which is protecting a clutch of stone eggs. The fearsome staghorn maw of the coral drake streams water down the fountain, showering the space in glints of light. You are throwing in a coin.
Yeah, I'd throw a gold coin.
Can you roll 2 d20s for me?
Oh, okay. That's a 14 and a 5.
All right. You make your wish and make your way down the boardwalk. Are you going to check in for Sally's?
Yeah, I think so. Feng is very much on this quest to kind of try and find a new prophecy or destiny for himself, so I feel like why not try this place?
Pushing aside a plank and peering into the pile of rubbish, you see a passed out gnome face down in what appears to be torn strips of airship sails. As you enter the space, she immediately sits bolt right as if she'd never been sleeping and starts shaking a can with a few coppers in the bottom of it towards you.
How much does it cost? Is this to get a prophecy or?
10 platinum! I promise, 10 platinum! Quick!
10? I don't know if I've got that.
Quick!
I don't have any platinum. I'm so sorry.
She's obviously trying to steal your gold here.
Okay, I put 1 gold in to see if she notices.
You put 1 gold in, you see her hand shoots in so quickly, it almost like, you know how it's really dangerous to put your hand in hand? She's like cutting her hand
my God.
to get the gold out. She's like gnawing on it ferally to make sure it's real. You see she clears her throat, spits out a massive loogie onto the ground and says, "There once was a sandy fir bog, plucked neath from the trees, raised amongst smoke and flame through the phoenix eyes he sees. Warm is his embrace, but should you question his place, from his inferno thou shalt flee." And then passes out again immediately afterwards.
Yeah, you know what? I did just like wipe out all of my civilizations, so they did flee. I mean, I'm being very whimsical about it. Not that Feng would be. But, like, I mean, what else can I do? I can't fix the situation. So, like, Feng's just going to keep getting these devastating prophecies, and he's just not going to accept it, and he's going to manifest a different reality. And he's also just going to, like, I don't know, probably do a quick healing word on this woman to make sure she's all right.
Yeah.
So, she's a bit alarming. She's more rattled than Feng, so...
You heal her, but given her status in life, she looks up and says, "Yeah, thanks. I mean, lesser restoration probably go much further."
I mean, I can do one of those if you want.
You hit me. She's like, hit me, and jumps on you.
I think you need help, sweetheart.
She's addicted to lesser restorations.
Feng starts looking inwards on all his addiction.
Anything else you do?
No, I'll walk out.
Okay, you walk out. You see, it's a bit later in the afternoon, you see the massive pile outside Soup de Jour, and now some of the lights are coming on closer into the city.
I'll poke my head under my cloak and say, "Hey, Promi, do you want to feed?"
You see Promi looks up at you with narrowed eyes because he hates being kept inside his cage, especially in a new place. And he turns away and gives you his tail first.
Don't you fucking dare. And I'm talking. This is Daniel talking. Don't you fucking dare, Emerson.
He just gives you like a...
Oh, fuck it. I'm bringing my phoenix out.
Oh my god.
Whatever. Done. Bring him out. Let's have a feed.
You see... Feng stands defiantly in the line in Soup de Jour. Roll me a d4.
That is a 3.
You, again, stand in line for a long time. You see chattering crowds comparing their soups, seeing which toppings they got. And eventually, you are second in line behind a blonde satyr with watery brown eyes. You see Denny. This satyr kind of saunters up and like puts both hands delicately onto the counter and says, "Okay, so here's the set."
and gluten-free, dairy-free, only eats pasture-raised and free-range. And also, can I see your Feldsparr vendor's license? I just want to make sure everyth's up to code here.
Oh my god.
Yes, of course. Okay, so you don't want anything tasty?
No.
And you want to go get fucked? That was the two things you wanted, hot water and to fuck off?
You see, she gets. I got taken aback. Emerson got taken aback.
He's gonna poke his head around and just be like, seems like you should fuck off.
The people in line who are waiting. What do you want the license for? Do you want soup or do you want to see the license?
You see her eyes narrow, and she leans in so close to you, Denny, and whispers, "You have not heard the last from me," and storms down.
Can I
the
say something
boardwalk.
before she goes?
Go. What do you call after her?
Better not have.
Okay, Feng, you're next in line.
Feng's just gonna walk up to Denny at the counter and be like, hey, what was her problem?
I don't know, some sort of person looking for licenses from a man who's just trying to sell some soup.
I mean, I don't normally tell people to fuck off. It's just like the energy seemed right, you know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It seemed like maybe that she would have put up some more resistance if you had not stepped in, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Can I get a free feed now?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh shit, that was so much easier than I thought.
Can I make a perception check to see if I notice Promy?
Oh, you noticed Proby.
Promy's chirping on my shoulder.
Promy's out, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hiding the Phoenix flame. I should probably have stated that.
You can, of course, have a free feed, but I have just a few questions about your friend there.
Yeah, his name's Promy. He's a baby phoenix. Just don't go telling a lot of people. I'm not probably. Maybe I should have looked around and. Oh shit! I've already fucked up.
Your secret is safe with me, friend. I have more academic questions. Is a little bird of fire, yes?
Yeah, he is.
Who cannot die?
I mean,
Or is reborn from the ashes when one dies?
well, I mean, yeah, I'm a druid, and so he's kind of like tied to my soul. So I suppose he lives while I live, but if I die, he probably dies or something like that. I don't know. I haven't tested it. Maybe I should test it. Do you want to kill me? I mean,
Let's see how the soup goes first.
Make an insight check on Feng for me, Denny.
It was 19 for 2 seconds. It's now 3, which becomes a 4.
You get nothing more than that out of Feng. What do you prepare for this Furbolg and Phoenix?
I just am so curious as to how you would cook him.
oh no, I don't.
Not that I would, of course, purely academically, but a fire-resistant bird that cannot die.
Feng's just gonna think to himself, how come everyone always wants to cook or steal Promy? I mean, like,
Looks
he's
delicious.
but he's like partially corporeal, and like my hand will like go halfway through his wing, and I'll be like, I don't think you can like
So tender.
physically. I mean, I'm starting to get offended. So
Yeah, of course.
How long until the food?
Of course, your soup. I'm assuming Furbolg, druid, probably not wanting lots of meat or anything.
I mean, I'm no complaints here. I'll eat anything.
Oh, of course. I think that Denny, for Feng, is going to prepare... I didn't notice anything about Denny, but I think that Feng is probably going to get some, like really condensed soup so that it's like jerky. It's soup jerky, I think, and it's going to like a little sort of... like a little sleeve of jerky, and like it is soup, but sort of a play on soup, and I think take it with you. You can have it on the road, you can put it away, save it for later.
No, you're so right. A snack on the go is better than anything else. I can't really eat soup while I'm walking, otherwise I wouldn't be able to see where I'm going. So, no, this is a great idea.
It's a very practical soup.
Feng bites one of the jerky.
Feng, you take off absent-mindedly chewing on your soup stick, I guess.
You just gave him a stock cube.
Basically, but you can charge for it.
It's like a long, hard soup dumpling with a like crunchy exterior.
Dehydrated soup.
I just imagine, like, do you want a sugar cube? Do you want a stock cube? Christ.
No complaints from Feng. He'll eat anything.
And Feng, where do you gravitate to in the evening hours?
Oh, I mean, like Daniel knows you mentioned the Bandolier brothel before, so I'm sure if Feng got any wind of that, he'd probably go towards there, to be honest.
Okay, wonderful. And you make your way over to the Bandolier brothel. Louis,
Hi.
welcome to Feldsparr.
Thank you.
You are the last to arrive. Probably had the most loose ends of the party to tie up.
as Louis is also punted across the bay on a long river barge by herself yet again. What is going through Louis' mind and what is she looking for in this city?
Yeah. So, Louis spent the last couple months dealing with the knowledge that she got from Noninya and just trying to establish scruff in the commons and like check in on how the city's been running and just take a moment to decompress and breathe at home. But there's only so much you can do in a city where you no longer have a position and you're kind of almost an antique. And as she makes her way across this barge by herself, sitting in the solitude of being a spirit unleashed, it's searching for community again. It's searching for purpose. It's knowing that she's out here to do something now. There's something that her soul is searching for that she doesn't know. And as she heads towards the spires of Feldsparr, her heart turns to those that she left in Lulladrad.
Okay, can you make a perception or investigation check for me?
Absolutely. Be nice to me, please. Natural 20.
20.
You just have to ask.
Yeah.
As a little old lady, Louis, you just get into places that, like, you know, people just don't want to bother you in case they incur your elderly wrath.
She's 5'1.5".
Right,
Just
no one wants to
things.
deal with that. So while you do see a lot of what happens in the commercium, it is quite noisy for you, and so you do eventually make it up to the upper echelon, and you see that there are more administrative buildings here. You see that there is the Great Monastery, the Four Eyes Sanctum, the Ether Core Barracks, and the Discordia Grotto up here. On your way up, traversing the stone stairs carved into the side of the spire, you also saw the hole in the wall, hibachi grill, and cocktail bar. That is kind of the preeminent restaurant here in Feldsparr. Which of those places do you think Louis... Is Louis looking for a quiet place?
It's a great question because she's here looking for people. So, I think she's spent too much time in solitude recently. I think she's looking for people, and the people that she's spent time with are not very quiet people. So if she's looking for signs of them, then going to a place where people who've been around are going to be, she'll probably head, again, as Louis always does, towards community.
So if you're looking for community places, there is obviously the Four Eyes Sanctum is open to the public, the Great Monastery is open to the public, and so is the Discordia Grotto. Down on the commercium level, though, there is a few areas which are, and market stalls and shops which are much more popular than others. You have Fortescue's Curio Emporium, which is like a magical item shop. You also have next door this weird dark building called Curses and Boons, no refunds.
Feng definitely wants to go there.
We will not be letting Feng go.
We will not let anything go there.
Any of that pique Louis' fancy?
I think she's kind of cataloging as she's going around, and she's like looking at places and being like, okay, we'll go there, and we'll go there once I found the people, we're gonna go see that, and we've gotta go talk to Caressa and all that stuff. She does see the curio store and kind of stops for a second, and is like, I can take a second, and pops into the curio store.
Finkel Fortescue is a budding...
It's amazing.
Drop Finkel Fortescue on us.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
I've got to give a trigger warning before you drop a Finkel Fortescue on us.
Invite me to dinner first.
You're done? Okay. Finkel Fortescue is a budding arcane smith, breaking out from his ancestral roots in Cape Rin to start his own legacy in Feldsparr. Most of Fortescue's curios are highly experimental, but he also trades in magical items and has a large array from across the realm. As you walk in, Louis, you see that this is a narrow shop, wedged between two enormous buildings, a haberdashery and a grain store. The entrance is framed in black ebony wood with gold filigree outlining Fortescue's Curio Emporium, fine gnomish wares for discerning denizens. Inside, there is enough room for a group to march single file up to a high counter, as every other available space is jammed with shelves of scrolls, tinctures, trinkets, oddities, whiz-bangs, doodahs and baubles.
Love this.
Finkel's Fortescue's.
Perched upon a plush green cushion on the high counter sits a pale gnome, heavy in thought as they tinker away behind 3-inch thick goggles.
I love them. I think I'm gonna go up and say in Gnomish, "Hi there, how's it going?"
Oh, cute, do no gnomish.
You see Finkel jumps at your arrival. Oh, sorry. I was just very, very busy at work. How may I help you?
Hi, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
No. Everyone startles me all the time, always. It's fine.
Do you know what I relate?
Yeah, that's so fair, and I know the feeling. I just wanted to pop in and pay my respects to a place of such curiosity. It's intriguing what you've got here.
Well, yes, it is really good, isn't it? When you actually sell proper magical items that work.
There is some fire in that one. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. You saw down the street the curses and boons.
Didn't look particularly discerning.
Well, it's just essentially a magic cash converters, and everyone always ends up selling my wares to them, and it's not fair. They're just profiteering off my trade.
That's awful. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you should go set fire to it.
You're asking me to commit arson. I have a friend who's much better at arson than I am.
Oh, sweet. So he can set fire to it for me, yeah?
I can ask.
No worries, I got it.
I can ask.
They always say over there, our magical items are more magical. What is that? What does more magical even mean? And you see he struggles to breathe. He's just like so fuming and caught up with it and doesn't.
All right, kiddo. In, breathe for 4. Hold it for 4.
I can't do it. Is there anything that you would like to purchase from this shop?
What kind of, I saw tinctures and things like that. Would there be anything that would catch Louis' eye?
There is. There is a range of magical items here from common to legendary. It obviously depends on gold.
Legendary, holy shit.
I will say that, in looking, she's probably looking like a grandmother seeing her grandkids for the first time in a very long time. She's probably looking for, little things that she can give to Feng and Lysandra as well when she sees them.
Cute.
Just almost like a little minty or something. Your gran finds something for you at the op shop and she gives it to you. Oh my gosh, I found this for you.
Something to support her unlimited candy supply.
Yes.
You see your eyes glaze over a little bit as you ignore the plethora of spell scrolls that would have been perfect for Quig. You see that there is a periaptive proof against poison. There is a flaming greatsword and also a wand of fireballs. Apart from that, you see that there is a scimitar in a case behind glass above Finkel's head. There is also just potions of healing and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Can I have a look at that sword?
You see, he goes, which one?
The scimitar?
Oh, you literally mean my most pricey object. And,
I'm curious.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, then you can. And you see, Finkel pulls out this massive link of keys that are just the size of him, and laboriously starts going through to try and unlock the case. You see this is a life-stealing scimitar, so it is a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls. The sword has a d8 of charges. If you score a critical hit against a creature with fewer than 100 hit points, it needs to succeed a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or be slain instantly.
Holy shit.
Do you know what? That sounds exactly like something Louis needs.
You said wonderful, and he said, that'll be 2,000 gold for that one.
Easy done.
I don't have that much. I did get a lot from the casino.
I know, I'm just joking.
Casino.
I'm just joking.
She looks at it and she's like, something to work towards. Thank you.
You see he rolls his eyes as he very laboriously takes it back up and
sorry.
tries to find the correct key again to look it up.
Do you know what though? Maybe that can help the souls pass on to Shadow.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I think just taking a glance around, Louis is going to just do the thing where you browse the shop but you feel bad sad about leaving without buying anything, and she's like, well, I'll be back. I'll just...
You see that this is a performance for one, and as soon as his attention is drawn away from you, it is straight back to his work.
Yeah.
And you can just hear mutterings going like, stupid curses of Bridget.
Do you think he'll give me the sword if we light them?
Do you know what?
One way to find out.
Louis, you also see the massive line outside Soup de Jour, but apart from that, is there anywhere you would like to... You saw the Bandolier Brothel, the Cerberus. Where would you like to bunk down for the night?
I think, again, Louise, like, desperately... I think she's been really lonely. So I think she's going to go for the busiest spot. And I have, as my background, which is a wild thing to pull out, I know, but I have a feature that's called by popular demand. I can always find a place to perform, usually in an inn or tavern, but possibly with a circus, at a theatre, or even in a noble's court. At such a place, you receive free lodging and food of a modest or comfortable standard, depending on the quality of the establishment, as long as you perform each night. In addition, your performance makes you something of a local figure. When strangers recognize you in a town where you've performed, they typically take a liking to you. I think Louis wants to find a spot at the busier hospitality establishment, just find a corner, and in a way that she hasn't in a long time, I think she's going to let herself indulge in the things that make her happy, knowing that it's her spirit that has pulled her towards this and pulled her out to help people. So she wants to take a moment to bring some joy and just start a little performance in the corner.
Don't apologize for using this. That's what the background's for.
Yeah.
Use it.
Wonderful. Make me a performance check as you begin to busk outside the Cerberus.
Ew.
And then Arduinovia pops up.
So I have a +7 to my performance. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
That is a 16.
Wonderful. The largest drinking establishment in Feldsparr, the Cerberus is built from the remains of an enormous galley ship which had crashed upon the spire of Feldsparr in a great storm of old. Resembling the back half of a mighty ship jutting from the stone, the Cerberus is currently under the management of 3 Knoll brothers, Hootie the bartender, Howler the matron, and Screech the bouncer.
Cute.
Together, these brothers trade in fine meats from the Ostov Isles to vintage reds from the arbours of Hermitage, and all are welcome for a drink and rent one of their many rooms. You're inside, Lysandra, so the pub is largely taken up by a huge galley hall with overflow tables and a string swing band nestled on a second balcony floor. The central hearth roars into roasting meats and rotisseries, and a high-backed bar at the rear of the room is stacked with barrels of different shapes and colours, long tubes connecting each to a huge array of brass taps upon the bar. Louis, you position yourself outside of the pub, probably up in some of the old rigging that's in there. With a 16, you give a pretty good performance. It is a kind of a new city, so you're feeling about with the crowd for a bit. Roll me a d20.
Yeah. It's a 14.
14. You make 14 gold.
Hey.
As you start to sing into the night.
They're throwing the goal up to me in the ring.
Like half the performance is catching the goal
Yeah.
while you're still playing.
Denny, I need you to make a perception check for me for your days. Just a general perception check for your day.
You beauty. I get +7. Fuck. That's a 10. It's a 10 though.
Dude.
Thank God, the DC was 10. You notice throughout the day. You notice throughout the day, a lot of people come and go. And so you're very used to the fast-paced nature of your work. But you do kind of notice a few loiterers throughout the day. One of them seems to be this older woman with long silk robes. And as you begin to shut the stall for the night, you see that this woman is still there. And she walks towards you and extends a hand.
Bonjour, madame. My name is Denis Golbért. And I'd like to kiss the hand.
You see she kind of giggles in a more childish, feminine way than you would expect a woman of her age. And she says, "Charm, darling, the name's Madame Lena. I'm the proprietor of that quaint little Bandolier brothel down the road."
Oh, Madame Lena, I've heard much about you, but the stories did not mention your great beauty.
Oh, Denis, you devil. My dear child, I have to say, whatever little tonic it is, what did you call it again? That's...
the Golbert's Gumption Gumbo.
That's a lot of G's.
It's for a lot of G. It's a lot of G sort of spot.
Well, I have to say, whatever you're hawking, my rooms are booked to the rafters. I'm pretty much full. I've been turning away people left, right, and centre. Look,
Turning them to me, I assume.
well, look, they're hungry, and then they hungry for something else. I
I
feel
was about to say.
Very hungry, yes.
Look, I'm not here to pry, darling, but I do have some concern should this wonder drug end up, I don't know, poisoning all my clientele or causing their genitals to fall off or something.
That would be a problem.
That would be a problem. Look, mark me as paranoid, but you wouldn't believe the snake oil that gets slung around here from time to time.
Oh, that is good for cooking, though. The snake oil, it makes a lovely base.
Oh. Wonderful. Okay, it is legit, yes? What is in the gumption gumbo? Just for my peace of mind. You understand.
Yes, of course. It is, look, for the most part, it is just flavoring. It is standard soups that we make it, and I look to give it the gumption of the gumbo. We do, we use the pestle and we crush up moon pixie wings.
Oh, a moon pixie wings.
But beyond that, very standard sort of soup.
Okay. Well, look, that seems fine by me. I mean, I'll put it past my underlings. It's just, I don't think that's toxic. But look, business is business. But darling, look, from one who has watched you all day, even the greatest artisans need a little bit of rest and stimulation, don't you agree?
We...
I am worried you're reading more into this than I had intended, but look, go for a drink. Go for a drink at the Cerberus and tell them Lena sent you, and they will make sure you get a nice drink and a feather bed for the night. And could you do me a favour? I've had to turn away this furball. He's quite insistent on a room, but your gumption gumbo has filled everything up. I've got no space for him. He's kind of like loitering around the outside, and you mentioned your soup stall, so I just assumed, could you a favour for a favour for a favour?
Yes, I've got this guy.
Oh,
this guy.
You know him?
Yeah, I gave him some soup earlier.
Wonderful. So if you could scare the furball off my front porch, that would be great. But look, you do have one of those licenses, yes?
Oh, yes.
Good, because I personally would not want to be caught with that one.
Of course not. What news would I, and so I got the license.
Oh, wonderful. Well, good evening, monsieur. And she walks off. What do you do?
I think Denny is going to walk up to Feng and say,
Bonjour, buddy.
Oh, hey, nice to see you again. I'm not doing anything bad, I promise. I was just trying to get in. Am I okay? Am I in trouble?
I think you might be in a little trouble.
Oh, shit, what did I do?
I was just talking to the mademoiselle before, and she said you were, what's the word, loitering, perhaps?
What does that mean?
I think maybe just standing around where you are not supposed to be standing around.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get let inside. Is there not a line? No?
They do not have any rooms left, sir.
That's bullshit. I want to see proof. Show me every room right now.
Okay, it's a brothel. I do not think they can show you every room right now for
that's a good point.
obvious reasons.
That's a good point. All right. Well, where else can I go? Do you know any other places?
Yeah, so I mean, you can sleep at my house if you wish.
Okay, you just let random people. You don't know much about me, though.
It's not so much of a house as it is a street. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am a druid. I've slept in the street before, so I guess let's go. As long as it's comfy.
Yeah, it just feels a lot for me to sort of put any sort of ownership on it when I'm very much just camping.
Yeah, no, but I mean, ownership is like part of the law, right? So if you say you own it, then someone has to prove otherwise, and they can't do that, so it's yours now.
Squatting lord.
I own it. It is my house, and
There you
you're welcome
go.
to stay there.
That's the thing, Denny. That's what you gotta do. It's yours now.
Come for me,
Let's go.
city.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
I think Denny would like to show Feng to his gutter. His little corner of an alleyway where Denny has like a little tarp or something that he just sleeps under.
You make your way back to the market square, which is where a lot of the homeless sleep, because it's where like most people are, so it's kind of safer. You see, Denny leads you down a side alley and pulls off just this putrid, dirty sheet of corrugated iron, and there's just like a few potato sacks underneath there. And as you're looking down at it and taking a big breath in,
you hear the familiar sounds of Louis's flute in the evening.
Feng, almost like a dog in the night, will like attuning to a sound. Will start like flicking his head around, trying to hone in on Louis's flute.
Flicking.
And he'll probably turn to Denny in this moment and be like, your place is really beautiful, but
Thank you, sir. I know.
how long have you lived here? Or
Not very long, probably a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I've never stayed too long one place.
yeah, no worries. Well, can you hear that flute that's kind of ringing over the city right now?
Oui?
Yeah, that's my friend. Her name's Louis. Do you want to come meet her by any chance? Because I got to go meet up with her. I haven't seen her for a couple months.
Oui, absolutely. I love music.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm a wonderful singer.
And Feng's going to try and like immediately nose to the ground, trying to sniff through the city to hone in on her.
Give me a nature check to try and pick up on Louis's scent.
Survival
Nature.
check. That's a nat 1.
Oh no.
With a +2 becomes a 3.
Can I roll?
Yeah, you can
Try and
roll.
help
Yeah.
us.
You can roll.
Nature check?
Yep.
That's a 14.
Nice. You see, Feng is almost doing this like truffle pig thing where he's just like on the scent, and Denny is behind him, like steering him away from like going down a really dodgy side alley, bumping into something, and eventually you appear outside of the Cerberus and see Louis on the outside.
Is that your friend over there?
Yeah, Feng's just going to immediately start sprinting towards Louis and try and tackle hug her.
Oh my god, Feng, what?
Yeah. Make a strength saving throw.
Okay, my strength is shit.
Feng is literally tackling you to the ground.
Next episode, Louis gets a hip replacement.
Yeah.
I just got new hips!
You roll big points.
Oh, it's a dirty 20!
No, okay, I'm going to roll a strength check. It's 15, so I can't knock Louis down, but I just like cling onto her and I'm like, Louis, I haven't seen you for so long. Oh my god, it's been so long.
It's literally like when you spot someone at the airport, like the international terminal, and you
Yes.
fully boom.
Very much what is in my head right now.
That is a how tall is Feng?
7'2".
It's a 7'2" firbolg, but just fully bashing himself into a.
You're 5 foot and I still can't even knock you over. Grandma's strong.
Grandma's strong. Literally just like boof into her, and I think like to get down to her, you have to kind of dive on the ground to put your arms around her. So you tackle, and she's like, "Oh my Feng, hi."
Hello, nice to see you again. And Feng's going to point at Denny and he's going to be like, this is my chaperone that has been designated to me by the city because I'm a nuisance.
Hello.
God, why does that not surprise me?
Everywhere I go.
Sweet thing, every single time. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Louis.
Bonjour, my name is Denis. Hey, Denis Louis is
Are you French?
I'm not French, but I.
Neither am I. This is...
Neither is anyone.
French does not exist.
What's French?
Oui, je parle français.
Oui.
Louis, have you seen Lysandra? Is she in the city? Do we know?
I haven't seen her. I've been keeping an eye out amongst the people that I've gone past, but I mean I've managed to get a good scope of everything so far, so I think we can work out where we need to go once we find her.
Let's explain Lysandra's general vibe to Denny to see if he knows where Lysandra's kind of people would hang out. So how does Feng and Louis describe Lysandra?
Based on how they remember her from like 3 months.
Exactly. Do you know where someone who has like lost all sense of identity and
Feng, whoa, describing features are going to be a lot better than soul-searching features.
but how?
was actually quite useful.
Yeah, let's just talk about her physical appearance.
Yeah, but like how's?
You're looking for something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but how's he going to know where she would go based on what she looks like? Or is there like a tiefling hangout spot in Feldsparr?
Hang on, you've had a whole crowd outside your
The whole
joint
day,
today.
it is a very successful business I run.
Congratulations. Did you potentially serve a 4-horned tiefling woman?
Oui, I believe I did.
Oh, did you see where she went? I think that might be our friend.
That's a fucking
Did I
coincidence.
see where she went? I don't remember. Yeah.
And I remember she did not want rocks in her stew.
I don't think anyone would.
You would be surprised.
Okay.
I was not offered rocks in my stew.
I didn't
Did
get
you want rocks in your stew?
No.
It is because Denny knows, okay? Denny knows.
No, you're so right. Do you know what? You're already going to be a good fit. I can tell.
Okay, well, were you done by... I don't think she would have gone towards the brothel. So my guess is...
No, they're
that
turning everyone away from the brothel. That's where I was a nuisance.
Oh,
Proudly admitting it.
what? Okay, actually, okay. I was going to ask what's happened. I'm going to wait until we see everyone.
We have so much
I
to
think
catch
we
up
need
on.
to sit down for that one.
I've had no one to talk me out of my bad decisions.
I think I'm going to need to sit down for that one. I might need my walking stick again once I try to get over the shock of whatever the hell you've been up to.
No worries, I'll go buy you one.
Thank you. Right.
Feng starts walking away.
No, okay, literally like grab him by the scruff of the neck. Leaps to grab him by the
Yeah,
scruff.
go.
Let's just go inside, try to find her, get a drink, take a seat. Denny, since you're chaperoning, I guess would you like to join us?
I would like to continue to chaperone.
Yeah, do you have like a certain amount of time you have to look after me for? Like, have you been given like a work shift or?
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to tell you.
Oh, shit. Feng is like very paranoid right now.
You're under close surveillance, mister.
You all enter into the Cerberus and go up to the bar. You see that the bartender up there, whose name is... Like, I was looking at the wrong screen.
Finkel forces. He's back.
He's back, he's everywhere.
You see this Sandy Knoll stands behind the bar and introduces himself as Hootie, the bartender, and he reads out the list. He says, well, hey, how you going? We've got a few things on special tonight. We're just trying to like clear out the kegs, keep it moving, keep it fresh. So we have an Hermitage Rosé, we have a Carefrostia Stout, Nightingale Gin, and a Feldsparr Pale Ale. What can I get for y'all?
I'm shouting, take your pick.
And Lysandra, you see them at the bar as well.
I will take a double gin.
A double Nightingale gin. And you see he pours you a double shot of a gin made of only the choicest snowberries. And it has a light and almost eternal finish.
Feng is going to tap Denny on the shoulder and say, am I allowed to drink? Or is there like a rules in place, you know?
Are you under some kind of arrest?
I'm still trying to figure that out, you know?
You know what? The special occasion, I will allow it.
Okay, a double gin here too, please.
Could I please get a rosé?
He pours you a tall glass of rosé, which has been finished in a willow barrel harvested from the Sea of Tear.
Yum.
Lysandra comes up behind them and speaks up to the bartender. I'd like one Feldsparr ale, please.
Feldsparr Pale Ale?
Yes, please.
Feng's just going to scream and tackle the center.
Oh, you're tackling a tourist. Okay, sweet.
Oh my gosh! Hi!
It's been so long, where have you been?
Why are you squeezing me so tight?
Never leave us without telling us where you're going ever again.
I told you I have things to do!
Yeah, but you've got to tell us next time. Promise! Feng's pissed.
Okay.
Alright, good to see you.
I love that as soon as I announce the drinks are on me, that's when you show your face.
I'm sorry, I was in here listening to the beautiful band play, and I didn't know that you were here. Why?
Sorry, didn't hear my music from outside? I'm kidding, honey, come here. And just like goes off as a hug.
Lysandra gives both of them a big hug.
Louis, make me a religion check.
Ooh, okay, absolutely I will.
Scary. Religion is just scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. You nice to me. Oh, that yeeted.
2. With a 2,
4 technically, but sorry.
with a 4, as you pull away from Los Angeles, almost like a static electric energy, almost like when you rub your hand on the carpet.
Ooh.
Just a bit of a jolt.
Louis like almost like eyes narrowed. You haven't been to see me for the holidays type moment. And so she's like, okay, I'm not going to ask any questions yet. Take your drinks, we'll find a table, and then we're going to sit down and talk. Because it's been a minute, and we all ran off with very little explanation for each other. So, let's just take a second. And she's going to take her rosé, delicately sip it, and go to try and find a table.
Yeah, is it like booths or something?
You all find yourselves a booth at the far end of the Cerberus. You see Hootie keeps filling up your drinks as you all converse with each other.
Fuck yeah.
And
Yeah.
as you begin to debrief,
that is where we will end our session.
Oh.
All on my goddamn tab.
Yeah.
Well done, gang!
Yay. So excited to finally meet Denny in character.
So coming together.
Also, you are running a TikTok trend, like one of those restaurants that pops off on TikTok.
Oh,
I thought you were talking to me, Oscar. I was like,
I'm talking about Denny.
yeah, fair enough.
I'm talking about Denny running like the crumble cookie scam.
oh my god.
Oh no!
Yeah, 100%.
That's gonna date.
There's some deep TikTok lore
Deep
first.
TikTok law that is gonna date so fast.
You don't know the Crumble Sydney debacle.
All right, as tradition and as always, does anyone have a selfless plug for today?
I do.
Let's go, Daniel.
So as I mentioned in episode 0, if you listened to it, if you didn't, how dare you? I have a background in education, teaching specifically. So my plug today, my selfless plug, is for someone's Kickstarter. The company is known as Cavalier RPG Adventures. They are actually doing a Kickstarter where it's like a D&D adventure, specifically targeted towards kids aged between 7 and 12. And as a part of this Kickstarter, the thing that I do really enjoy about it as well is they have pledges as small as $1. And it's also like creating a lot of like educational resources for young kids and adding those like educational and learning blocks into the adventure itself, so that kids can do this as a way to learn. Because, you know, we all agree that school is a really tough time. It is so hard to concentrate in class every day. And even when I was a teacher, I was always trying to find ways or hopefully trying to find ways to bring D&D into the classroom or TTRPGs. Because, you know, kids love gaming, kids love storytelling and adventuring. And so why not? But yeah, go check out their Kickstarter. It is called The Enchanted Forest, a D&D adventure for kids. But yeah, I had a look at it, checked it out. It looks really cool. So that is my selfless plug today.
Thanks, Daniel.
Really amazing.
Awesome.
So we have recently expanded our social media presence as we continue to grow the podcast. You can now find us on Threads, TikTok, YouTube, and Amazon Podcasts.
Just a couple more.
We encourage you to engage with us, send us your thoughts, comments on our stuff, all of that good stuff.
Do it.
We want to hear from you. And also, if you want to drop us a line, you can always reach us at downunderdungeonpod@gmail.com. Any support on these new channels is greatly appreciated, just to get that initial boost in the algorithm. And as always, a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple will never go amiss. And with that, we will see you next week.
See you there.
Next week.
Bye for now.
Bye.